Welcome back to another episode of the Consistency Corner podcast. And I'm really excited for our conversation today. We are in the midst of March, and at the end of February, I had this thought of like, you know what? We are going to have more fun in March. That's the goal. More fun in March. And this week, when I sat down to look at my content calendar and what am I talking about on the podcast today, and I'm recording this in the end of February, I had like a little question mark that I was like, oh, I want to talk about aspirational pricing or pricing psychology. And I'd had a conversation with a friend and I was telling her I needed to record a solo podcast. And we were having a conversation about a client case study, a client that I had worked with and some success that they had had. She was like, you need to talk about that on your podcast. Like, share that, share the behind the scenes. And I'm like, okay, I do want to do that. So to bring that all back and how it all relates to each other is typically in our business, when we're doing more of what we love, we can have more fun. And when we're making more money, we can also have more fun because we're not stressed about making money and we can use that money to pay for things. I mean, I'm a spender at heart. If you feel me, please send me a DM and let me know that you know what that feels like to be a spender. My friend Kristen, who's a CFO, says that means I'm a circulator, circulating money in the world. But I like to use money to have fun experiences. I love a great restaurant. I love to travel. So my whole idea around more fun in March is that I had realized in January and February, I had kind of been holding myself hostage in the you have not made enough money to deserve to have fun. Now, not everything that is fun costs money. I can go for a walk and call a friend and that's free. I live in Florida. I can go to the beach for an afternoon and that is also free to sit on the beach. You got to pay the park, but you know what I mean. So, thinking about how can I step into March and raise my personal energy level through more fun. And there's a lot of mindset stuff there. And we talk a lot about mindset on this podcast because although I am not a mindset coach, I truly believe in the power of mindset. And I know that our beliefs and our mindset filter everything that we do. And so we can have an effective marketing strategy. We can have a great content plan. But if we're not showing up with the energy and the belief and the mindset to make it happen, it's not going to happen. And so that was my goal for March, stepping in to having more fun and making things more fun in my business. And that's one of the things that, I love to help my clients with. I love to help you design a marketing strategy that you find fun. Because even if you are outsourcing and you're taking off the CMO hat and you're solely wearing the CEO hat, there's still going to be some things that you have to do. I love a collaborative client, but I want to create a content plan that plays to your strengths, that plays to the things that you enjoy. Maybe you don't enjoy recording a podcast or recording videos. Maybe you don't enjoy making reels. Maybe you do. Whatever it is, we're going to create strategies that you can be consistent with, or your team can be consistent with, or my team that can be consistent with things that bring you joy and you have fun with. Let's talk about networking. That's a great top of funnel activity. But if you go to a networking event and it feels like everybody's just standing up and reading off their business card, well, that's probably not very fun. But if you find a networking event with people that you think are cool and they introduce you to other cool people, well, then that networking event is going to give you energy and it's going to give you fun. And so we're going to show up in those rooms in different ways and it's going to have a ripple effect. And when we have created a marketing strategy with intentional content, this is where we're going to tie it back to your content. Those networking events can actually be more effective because let's be honest, I know I'm sitting on a networking call with Instagram open and looking everybody up who's on the call and checking out if I like their vibe or not. And if they don't have a whole lot going on, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't really know if they're for me and I'm not going to follow up with them. But if there's something that we connect on, something that we have in common, something that I see like, oh, you would probably also really vibe with so-and-so who I know, let me introduce you to. I'm going to, continue to nurture that relationship that they have nurtured through content, right? So attract, top of funnel, they're meeting me and other people on a networking call. The content that they have put out online on social media or on their website is nurturing me by telling me more about their business and their vibe and who they are. And then we can move further down that funnel and have conversations and connect. So when we think about selling our services, and this is where I want to go back to that kind of conversation on pricing. This is something that I have been working behind the scenes on in my business. And just to kind of give you the little backstory, if you're new to the Consistency Corner, I launched a mid-ticket offer in the spring of 2023, completely flopped. I sold zero, literally sold zero. Like, I spent a bunch of money on web design. I worked with a launch coach. I created a ton of content. I sold zero. It was a big fat flop. And then I was like, okay, I need a break. I need to do something different. And so I launched a low ticket membership. So I launched a mid ticket group coaching program, totally flopped. I launched a low ticket membership. It did fine. It was okay. I sold some, I had some people in it. There was some good value there. I connected with some great people. But the $27 a month membership was not going to pay my bills. Let's be honest. It just wasn't. And so I went back and looked at my offer suite and how I serve clients and what are the different things that I do, and really realized that done for you services are the high ticket offers that are going to help me run my business in a way that does pay the bills, that makes sense, that is profitable. And once we have high ticket offers, done for you type services, maybe we can layer in some of those other things, digital products, memberships. And this is something that I want to talk about because I see so often in the online space, the people telling you that like your $7 digital product is going to help you retire or retire your husband or whatever the flavor of the moment is that we're saying that the cool people do. That is possible if you already have a big audience, if you've dialed in your messaging, if you've done so many other things behind the scenes. And digital products can be great. They can be a great incremental income stream. But for the most part, if you're a service provider, in the beginning, selling a digital product is not going to be super profitable, where a high ticket done for you service is. So, okay, let's fast forward a little bit. I launched my membership after the group coaching program flopped. And after that, I was like, you know what? I am going to put up a 9 grid. I need a break from creating content. And so I put up a 9 grid. And in that, learned that I love the 9 grid strategy, which we talk a lot about here on the podcast, a set it and forget it Instagram content strategy. And I thought I could totally help other people do this. And so I created the Done For You 9 grid as an offer. And we created that and I sold some and I worked on the messaging and who it's for and who can be supported by that particular package. And then also created some templates, which gives me a digital product that I can sell for, people who want to do it themselves, people who are not ready to invest in Done For You or aren't at that level to invest in Done For You. And so we're good. Like, I'm excited about this. But at the end of the day, let's go back to the business model and business strategy here. A mid-ticket package, a done for you or VIP style package that is a one and done. I need volume. I need to be selling several a month to make it make sense in my business, which means I've got to have a marketing strategy that's dialed in where I am attracting, nurturing, and converting the ideal clients who can be served by this offer on the regular. I need a consistent pipeline of leads. I need a funnel to nurture people because I'm not just selling a $200 item. I'm selling something that starts at $1,500. It is an investment for some people. For a lot of people, $1,500 is a big investment. It's not an ongoing investment. It's a one-time thing, but still there has to be a marketing and sales pipeline there. And so, when I go back and I think about the business strategy and business model and, making it make sense, the goal with the Consistency Corner has always been to grow into a team. And an agency where I can have other women on the team, I can give that employment opportunity to other women. And I realized that the revenue from these done for you 9 grid projects is not enough to sustain and build a team. And so we kind of went backwards. I worked with my coach and mentor, and last summer we had a really, heart to heart conversation about growing the agency and offering that full holistic done for you package, CMO level strategy plus implementation. Because what I see in the marketplace is you can kind of get one or the other. Like you can get a consultant who's going to tell you what to do, but you still have to do it. You can get a coach who's going to teach you or guide you in what to do, but you still have to do it. Or you can get a VA or an agency of service providers who often will do one specialization or one thing, but you still have to like wrangle it all and come up with the whole strategy and figure out what works. And often service providers, like they don't want to wear the CMO hat. They got into the business that they do because they want to serve their clients. And they have a certain level of success and they want to continue to serve their clients and they want to lead their team who helps them serve more clients, but they are tired of wearing the marketing hat and they need a strategic partner who can wear that marketing hat. And so it took me a while to get back to that was really why I established the Consistency Corner. And so behind the scenes, I'm doing a lot of work around messaging and my mission and my vision and my values and doing a brand refresh. The same thing I talk to my clients about. Like I had to go and do it for my own business. And so as we sat down to redo my homepage, head over to theconsistencycorner.com for the reveal to see the brand new homepage. There was a lot of conversation about the offers and how I help people. And the largest offer being CMO strategy plus implementation. And that being a really high price point item. And having the conversation that the person who is buying or potentially buying a mid-ticket offer that I sell, a $1,500 to $2,000 VIP package is not the same person who is ready to invest $5,000 or more a month in a retainer package for a fractional CMO and a team to implement. And so I kind of struggled with this, right? And I'm like sharing behind the scenes because I want you to understand the real life kind of wrestling that I've done with my messaging. And so what I realized, and in having conversations with mentors and friends and colleagues and other marketers even, is that we want to position ourselves aspirationally. So the highest level of service available, the best transformation available. And if someone is attracted to that, but not able to invest in that strategy right away or right then and there, they are still going to vibe with your brand and your service. And if you've built your offer suite to have a lower ticket point of entry, they could potentially move into that. So for example, maybe you love listening to me talk. You're like, yes, Ruthie, you're amazing. You're so fun. Pat yourself on the back. I'm like totally joking. I'm not good at patting myself on the back, but let's just say that you're vibing that and you're like, yes, I would love to hire you. I would love to have you be my CMO and have your team implement all my content because I am just so tired of creating content, but I am not ready to invest that much. I get it. The done for you strategy, the done for you 9 grid can get you CMO strategy and my eyes on your business. We build you out a 3-month content plan. We do the 9 grid for you and take that off your plate so that you can now spend your time on some of the other things. So while I do have to have a separate marketing strategy and content plan for these two offers because they meet different clients in different levels of their journey who have different needs, I also had to figure out what was the through line and what was the thread that connects my high ticket offer to my mid ticket offer to my low ticket offer. And those are things that had to be really connected to my brand and my values and my mission and my vision. So all this stuff works together, and you can see how from like a which came first, the chicken or the egg kind of perspective, it's a lot. It's a lot to figure out and it's a lot to work through. But we just keep working through it and keep going and find the things that bring us joy, which takes us back to that more fun. Because when we're having more fun in our business, it's going to give us the opportunity to attract clients who give us energy, who bring us joy, who make it fun. So, thinking about one of my clients that I've been working with for the past few years on content. And, they came to me at a place where they had a decent level of success. They're a 7-figure business. They are doing $3 million in revenue before they came to me. They don't have a dedicated marketing team. And they knew that in order to continue to grow and continue to scale, the CEO couldn't be selling one-to-one all the time and continue to grow the business, because the CEO needed to put the CEO hat on of leading the team and actually hiring and onboarding and bringing on new service providers and system specialists and operators in their business. And so wearing the sales hat was something that was actually taking up too much time. But if we don't keep selling, we can't pay for all these people that we've just hired, right? So it's become like this, oh, what do we do? So they invested in content. And after working with me for a year and a half, have doubled their revenue, almost doubled their revenue. They've taken it from 3 million to 5 million. But they've had that increase in revenue so that through the content, they have been able to land bigger clients, increase the contracts with their existing clients, and retain almost all of their clients in an industry that often doesn't have a great retention rate, because it's an industry where their clients often, close down shop and don't stick around. So, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Which comes first, marketing or sales? Well, and to be fair, they were already having sales because the CEO was great at building relationships, was great at selling. But that CEO got to a place where he needed to put on a different hat and wear the sales and marketing hat less. And so content became the tool that could nurture those relationships and give them the authority in the marketplace that would help him have more effective sales conversations. And now that we've built out that content ecosystem over the course of a couple of years, their goal is to actually hire a sales team in Q3. And so then the CEO has now taken off the marketing hat and taken off the sales hat. Now that doesn't mean he is not working. He is. He likes to work. But he's working on things that matter to him, that bring him joy, and that help him move the business into a different level. They were kind of plateauing at a certain income level, but through effective marketing and strategic marketing and content, they were able to up level to a point that now they can scale even more by bringing in a sales team. And we did that through a strategy that I use with clients at every single level, meaning let's dial in the messaging. Let's make sure we understand the mission, vision, values, the ideal client, and what makes you different. And let's make sure that we're communicating that in our content in a way that makes it all about the customer and why they would want to work with you, versus what we often see, content that is all about the offer, the product, the features and benefits. Benefits are important, features not as much. But we need to do that in a way that is strategic and intentional. And we need to do it in a way that looks at how are we attracting, how are we nurturing, how are we converting, what's the customer journey, what does the funnel look like, versus looking at one piece of content on its own. It's all part of an ecosystem. And when I work with my clients, that is one of the reasons I get so passionate about the 9 grid, is because it does give us an opportunity to think about a lot of those things in one really small ecosystem that is a piece of the puzzle. And when we work through those questions of what is our mission, what are our vision, what are our values, Who do we help? How do we help them? What are some polarizing opinions we have that make our business or our brand different? What are the transformations that we offer to our clients? We figure all of that out and put it into a 9 grid. Now we actually have content that we can repurpose and leverage in several other places across the marketplace. And repurposing helps give us our time back so that we can have more fun, so that we can attract those ideal and aligned clients who vibe with us and make business fun. I was talking to a friend over the weekend who is a W-2 employee and was moving from one company to another, and just was talking about her boss and like how she felt really unsupported and it wasn't a great environment. And I said, at the end of the day, like, people work for people. And it is the same way as a contractor. People work with people. People hire people because of the people, right? And we can talk about brand colors and fonts and all of these things, but that's why it's so important for me as a marketer to collaborate with the CEO and understand the heart behind your business. Understand why you started the business that you started, why you want to serve the clients that you want to serve. Because for most of us, we're in a saturated market. There is competition. And, I believe in an abundance mindset and that there's enough to go around for all of us, and our right people are going to find us. But they're only going to be able to find us if we can articulate what it is that we do, how we do it, what makes us special, and get that out into the marketplace through consistent branding and consistent messaging so that our people, our right ideal clients who we were meant to serve, can find us and say, yes, you are who I wanted to work with. You are who I have been waiting for, because we were all meant to serve those specific clients with our missions. We were given these missions and visions and purposes for a reason. So to wrap all that up, let's talk a little bit about, I want to share with you 5 things I am doing in March to have more fun. Because while I am relaunching the agency, the Consistency Corner agency over here with CMO level strategy and implementation, a retainer offer that, if that sounds like a good fit for you, I'd love to chat with you about. But that's something that I'm working on in my business, is selling and launching that offer. And selling and launching can be a lot of work. And we want to make sure that we're showing up with the right energy. So during the month of March, some of the things I am doing to have more fun, I'm going to share 5 things with you today. Walk and talks with my friends. Like, I need to move my body. I need to get outside. I need to catch up with my friends. So I literally made a Calendly event that I can send a URL to friends of mine and say, please pick a time on my calendar. Let's have a walk and talk. And instead of a Zoom call, I'm calling them on the phone and taking a walk, and we're just catching up. And it's been so energizing and fun to do that. Number 2, a coffee shop work session. I get so much energy out of working in a coffee shop, but I often make the excuse of like, oh, I have a call, or I need to record a podcast, or I want my second screen. So I'll just stay home. I'll just work from home. But every time I go to a coffee shop, I get so energized and it brings me so much joy. So we are making that a priority in March. Number 3, a weekday shopping trip. As an entrepreneur, I have time flexibility. So I'm going to take advantage of that in March and go to Target or Home Goods or wherever on a weekday while my kiddo is at school, and enjoy that little slice of freedom and time. Even if that means I did a coffee shop work session and then a quick little shopping trip, I know that those are things that are going to bring me joy. The 4th thing is March Madness. People, first of all, if you are a basketball fan, please send me a DM and tell me who your team is. Boiler up. Mine is Purdue. So help me God, please help them make it through the first round of the tournament, because they have been like in the top 5 all year and could potentially win a national championship this season. And although that is incredibly stressful, and it does stress me out because I want them to win so bad, March Madness and the NCAA basketball tournament brings me so much joy. So the first round of the tournament, the 21st and 22nd, I am taking those days as out of office and watching a ton of basketball. And that will bring me so much joy. And then one more, just to kind of wrap our, things that bring me joy list and more fun in March list, something that you can implement too, is a great playlist. I love podcasts. I'm obsessed with podcasts. I love listening to and learning from podcasts, but sometimes we need to just put on fun music. And whether it's fun music while we take a walk or we're in the car driving, or even while you're working, if you can work with music on. Sometimes I can't. I need silence to work. But putting on a fun playlist that really gives you energy and joy. And my friend Kelsey had a great idea that she shared on Instagram was, instead of like a mix playlist, which we'll often do, so you get to hear a lot of artists, pick an artist that you love. Like think about from your 20s age range who you're really into. Mine was NSYNC. And listen to their entire catalog. It will bring you so much joy. I've already done it with NSYNC, and it was so, so fun to go back and hear songs that were like not the hits. So they're never going to be on like random playlists or playlists that other people put together. We're talking like, back in the day when they called this the B-side or the like album cuts. But when you were 18 and you listen to that CD start to finish all the time, those songs. It's so fun to go back and hear them again. So that is my final suggestion for you for more fun in March. And if you want to have more fun in March with me, send me a DM on Instagram and let's talk about this. I've got a couple of you that I've been chatting with that are also having more fun in March, and we can be DM buddies and hold each other accountable to get these things on our calendar and have fun. And if marketing is something that is taking up too much of your time and it's not bringing you joy, but you know you need to do it because it is how you're going to continue to grow your business, let's have a conversation and figure out how we can take some of that off of your plate. If you head over to theconsistencycorner.com, you will see, like I said, that brand new homepage that we just redid. And you can actually book a free growth strategy session where we'll have a 30-minute conversation, talk about the best ways for you to attract, nurture, and convert your ideal clients, and figure out a way that you can do it consistently without it being constant. So thank you guys for being here so much on this week's episode of the Consistency Corner podcast, and we'll see you next week.